I didn't know that fear could be a great motivator, in that it actually scared me into stop suffering from imposter syndrome. Let me explain. In the summer of this year, 2025, I was really depleted because I'd found myself unemployed. I felt depleted because there I was looking for yet another job. And sometimes it felt like a job for the amount of time I invested looking for a job. Can you relate to that? I knew I had one thing to do instead of just searching for a job just to pay bills. I knew I had to find something that inspired my reason for being, known as my why. Something that didn't just sustain me, but nourished my growth. I didn't find any job that provided that, and so I had to make a decision. I needed to pursue my passion and return to my first love since I was a child, and that was character design. Being over 40, or if you're anything like me, over 50, I knew I had to stop procrastinating and start creating. Yes, I know I've been down that road before. You don't have to rub it in, saying I'm going to do something and never actually start, or life gets in the way, or if I'm really honest, fear gets the better of me. But this time, I felt something I never felt before. The loss of time. You see, at our age, time doesn't creep up on us. It says, hello, it's here. And so if I was going to pursue my dream of being a full-time character designer, I had to get over one massive obstacle of a question. Why do I feel like an imposter? Here, man, you might need this. Take it. Take it. Today I'm drawing that character that represents the feeling of imposter syndrome. I saw myself as a sad clown with sad face and clothes to match for the amount of times I've been laughed at by my peers. Let's draw out that image in support for the sad clown as we prepare for our creative comeback. Shall we? Do you remember in last week's episode of this Fearless Over 40 series where I said I felt like an artistic fraud? If not, the link is in the description of that episode. Anyway, I mentioned that I felt like a failure because I wasn't doing what I knew to be my reason for being, and upon seeing other people live my dream was crippling. I remember watching YouTube videos and seeing creatives use their talent to make a substantial amount of money from their craft. Whether they were telling the truth about how much money they actually made or not, the one common thread was that they seemed happy. Not just content, but actually like they won the lottery of happiness. No, I wasn't jealous while watching these creatives, not much, but I knew that if I didn't start doing something with my own creative abilities, that my talents would die with me, and I couldn't stand living with regret. While I was watching these YouTube videos, there were so many great creatives already doing what I wanted to do, but I knew I had something to offer. Then, here came that lie, right on cue. But you can't compete with other creatives. They're so good, and nobody, and I mean nobody, knows you. Damn, that voice is so loud. It was time to fight this negative narrative and beat imposter syndrome once and for all. I already owned a 24-inch graphics tablet, and it was just something that was, it looked pretty and sitting in the corner of my desk, but it was collecting dust. Oh, I dabbled with a few drawings here and there, but I had no real plan for being a full-time creative. I knew that I had to approach this from another perspective. Like I mentioned earlier, that this time was different, because I didn't want to waste any more time making excuses. And at my age, I was running out of both time and excuses to make a difference. And believe it or not, I never liked playing it safe in life. So I took the plunge and started this YouTube channel just to hold myself accountable for producing content, which in turn would force me to do more illustrations. So I decided to binge watch all the videos I could find on the platform and tied it to my purpose. Before I knew it, I was doing the one thing that I had been putting off for years. No, not drawing, but thinking of myself as a brand, a business. Really investing in my approach to doing what I love and being of service to others as well. Why character design, you ask? Well, that's simple. Because I love drawing characters, and everyone's a character. I knew 3 things I had to hold as a mantra to myself. I had to A, start using more I am statements, B, remind myself of my reason for being, and C, start acting as if I was already a full-time character designer. Bingo. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy, but since I was unemployed, I knew that I had work to do. But it was my life's work to be done. I had to also stop feeling like a sad clown. Okay, I think our character's coming along really nicely. I like this shot of this image, but it's really a different picture. It's like he's in the shadows, but that's not what this channel is all about. It's about emerging from the shadows of our former self and stepping into the light and taking action, right? And how you doing today, monkey?
Nothing, just chilling.
Yeah? That's great, monkey. Winner. It's been a dream of mine to share my talents and this content for years. But I used to wake up thinking, I want to do it, but who am I to call myself an artist or character designer at my age? Letting go of that voice took time, but it wasn't about proving my worth. It was about creating the path to my purpose. Here's how I did it. I kept a small journal of achievements and gratitude for my creative abilities, calling them small wins. Then I reframed the growing pains of telling myself that I'm not broken, therefore I don't need fixing. And lastly, I stopped comparing myself to others. I designed an entire blueprint of how to feel significant and find my purpose for being. And if you want to go deeper to find yours, connect with me so you can have more time doing what you love, gain confidence, clarity, and focus to take your talent and leave a legacy. For you to continue being fearless over 40, then let's have that conversation. Link is in the description, and I'll share that blueprint with you. You want to know something? I almost didn't start this channel. I mean, I posted my first video and cringed. And then someone left me a comment after seeing my work, and they said, "Your art inspires me. It reminds me who I am." I was both humbled and really grateful, because I'm being true to myself, creating characters rooted in telling better stories and hopefully helping others become better characters. But people like you and I, we don't do this for likes. We do this as a matter of survival. It's like breathing. And if you're somebody struggling to decide whether you should be a full-time creative, ask yourself this one question. If money was no object, what would I be doing right now? Right this second. That's right, you'd be living your purpose. Why? Because you've been called to do this. Okay, I think this week's episode is done. The sad clown, hiding behind comedy and tragedy. But imposter syndrome isn't a sign of failure because of this. Pain meets proof when you seek the truth, but the real context is what you do next, because it's time to decide if you want to be a soldier, and the pain that tried to mold you is just a sign you're growing older. This episode is in a long series of being fearless over 40, so consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the next episode. So you see, you don't have to feel like an imposter. Let's turn this conversation into something real, starting with a strategy, so you can have more time to align with a life that you designed. The link is in the description below. But before you go, can I suggest you watch this video next? It's called The Drill Sergeant, so you can continue being fearless over 40. See you next time.